do not believe that those are being followed, and this would make some of those killings war crimes.
Jody Ginsburg, the CEO of the Committee to Protect Journalists. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Nora Rahm. The European Union's top diplomat says
there's been an outpouring of grief around the world this week for a Palestinian activist who was shot and killed in the Israeli-occupied West Bank, the area of land captured and mostly controlled by Israel since the 1967 war. The suspect is a settler well known for his attacks on Palestinians. The man who died helped make this year's Oscar-winning documentary, No Other Land, which is about settler violence and Palestinian displacement in the West Bank. NPR's Eleanor Beardsley went to the village where he was killed.
We're arriving at the village of Hair. This is where Alda Hatlin was killed and where he lived. It's very hot here. We're in the West Bank. Rolling hills with boulders and rocks and olive trees and cactuses, and we're right behind the settlement of Carmel, which is tightly enclosed in barbed wire with rolls of barbed wire on the top of the fence. Villagers are gathered under a mourning tent to grieve for the 31-year-old peace activist, English teacher, and father of 3 small boys. Auda al-Hatlin's death has drawn international attention, and a delegation of European diplomats has come. Their SUVs are parked on the dirt road beside the village of small stone houses with tin roofs. Annika Malki is the first diplomat to speak.
I'm from Consulia Swedia, the Swedish consulate, and we would also like to convey our sincere condolences. It is a terrible crime, and it shows how vulnerable Palestinians' communities are.
Al-Hatlin's brother Khalil addresses them.
We hope from you to protect the local community here, because we're being exposed to cleansing. Look around you, there's no problem, there's no military, no one's evicting us because you're Europeans and you're here. The moment you leave, you're gonna come here.
Allegra Pacheco, chief of party for the West Bank Protection Consortium, has been helping this isolated community of 500 people for the last 8 years. She reads Al-Hatlin's last message to his large WhatsApp group when the settler bulldozer rolled in last Sunday.
Urgent call. The settlers are working behind our houses, and the worst, they're trying to cut the main water pipe for our community. We need everyone to act. If you can reach people like the Congress, the courts, please do everything. If they cut the pipe, the community here will literally be without any drop of water. That was his last message, sent at 3 p.m. on Sunday.
Israeli peace activist Oriel Eisner has been sleeping here since the killing to bear witness. He says in the night when the visitors are gone, the Israeli army comes in to arrest people.
People aren't sleeping. People are terrified. The settlers and the government in lockstep with them are just doing whatever they want and taking over whatever land they want, doing whatever they want with the Palestinians.
Eisner says while this has been going on for decades, it's accelerated since the war and with the inclusion of far-right settlers in the Israeli cabinet. 17 villagers arrested for throwing rocks are still being held, but the settler who allegedly shot Al-Hatlin was released after being detained just 24 hours. He has not been charged, despite widely circulated video that shows Enon Levy wildly waving his handgun and shooting towards a group of village men who are trying to stop the bulldozer. The settler has been sanctioned by the EU and the US, though President Trump lifted those sanctions. Israeli authorities are also refusing to release Al-Hatlin's body unless his family agrees to a private funeral with no media. That's another humiliation, says Al-Hatlin's brother Khalil.
Burial has to be in daylight. It has to be with the presence of all his friends, his people, and the media.
This area of the West Bank where Israeli settlements are being swiftly built is entirely under Israeli military law, and Palestinians have few rights. We head to the women's mourning tent where there are dozens of mothers with their children. We speak to Al-Hatlin's mother, Khadra Al-Hatlin, through an interpreter. She says her son was inside preparing for a trip to the U.S. when the trouble began.
This guy came on the bulldozer and he started cutting the trees. Somebody called Ode. Ode went out, I followed, and there was blood.
An Israeli ambulance eventually came and she tried to get in.
They took him. I said I want to go with my son, but I was not allowed. Somebody hit me on the hand and slapped me on the face. It's the same guy who killed him.
There's a black bruise on her hand.
Ode was our friend, and he was our partner, Allah yarhamu.
Avi Dabush, the CEO of Rabbis for Human Rights, speaks to the mourners. There are many Jewish activists here. Dabush says they are fighting for the return of Al-Hatlin's body and for the person who shot him to face justice. But he says that's gonna be difficult under Israel's current right-wing government.
Unfortunately, in the coalition, there are people that believe only in violence, believe in Jewish supremacy. We believe in the core values for us of Judaism and even Zionism, of living together, reaching out in peace.
1,000 Palestinians face one of the single biggest expulsion decisions since the Israeli occupation of the Palestinian territories began.
Tragically, people in this village say they believed the Oscar-winning documentary about their struggle with settler violence, No Other Land, might bring a measure of protection and even lay the groundwork for peace, even though it was never screened in Israeli cinemas. But just the opposite has happened, says Basil Adra, one of the filmmakers.
Auda was the most peaceful person. He was the person that always gathered us, and he was shot in front of the community center that he built for the kids to play and to have summer camp and to learn.
As the village mourns and waits in agony to bury its fallen son, the settlers' bulldozer, working steadily away through it all, is a reminder of who controls this land. Eleanor Beardsley, NPR News, Al-Khair in the occupied West Bank.
I read a poem this morning
Welcome to NPR One on the weekend.
I wrote a poem this morning about what's going on in politics today and in the world and in Gaza and all the suffering and the authoritarian regime, especially in the United States. I'm not really sure what I'm calling it, the poem that I'm going to read now. I am sleeping in the most beautiful dream I've ever had, but I just realize waking life is being bombed and starved and interned. What will I do? My sleep is almost perfect. But if I don't wake, I cannot use my voice and platform, use the remaining sliver of democratic liberty to join forces to try to save this world. I don't know if all the people watching this know or understand what is going on today in Gaza. I recently just talked to a neighbor of mine who's Zionist. It seems like all of my neighbors in this area are Zionist. And I'm not like that. I believe that Gaza is being bombed and the children are being starved, and there are amputations being made without anything to amputate with, like painkillers, and they don't have anything for babies, or like they don't have any diapers or anything for babies. They don't have anything necessary. They're suffering, and it's not just like out of some coincidence. It's totally an intentional act. They're suffering in Gaza, and it's intentional, and the United States is funding it. Gaza is being bombed and ethnically cleansed, and it's an intentional thing. Like, it's not just some coincidence. My neighbor thinks that it's the Holy Land for Israel, and she thinks Israel should always be like that. Israel is right, she thinks. I have so many people around here who are Zionists. And it bothers me so much because they're just, I think that they really believe it. And their media sources are telling them that they're right. So they actually believe that they are right. They're watching Fox News, and they think that they're right. They think that they're going to church, and their pastors are telling them that if they are ever to find a Muslim, then the Muslim is not clean, or not right, or not good, or doomed to go to hell. What are you doing, Brazen? What are you doing, buddy? Go ahead and do it again. Do it again. That cheered me up, Brazen. That cheered me up, girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good doggy. I just realized that I have not been using my platform at all, hardly, except for to write some political poems. But mostly it's just been to express my art, and it hasn't been to speak out. And so I just wanted to speak out against what's happening. And with ICE, the immigration raids, and the internment camps. Thank you all for watching. I am having a good weekend. I hope you all are too. Been living my best life. It's funny. I think I'm learning how to live stream. It's funny because the numbers always change drastically from moment to moment. So like you can have like 2 people watching, and then you end up having like 20 people watching, and then like it goes back down to 2, and it just happens naturally. And I kind of like live streaming, so it's something that I'm maybe gonna do even more of. I already did one today, actually, this morning. My right with me. So, yeah, I'm not gonna stand here that long. It's too sad. Alright, I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much. Bye.